Did your father serve? I think you said he served in
the First
World War. Yeah, that's right.
He was also, can I just say, the signals officer in the local ATC squadron, which I joined. But I got no special training from him.
Presumably after what he saw in the First
Mm.
World War, that's why he was so concerned about you
Well,
joining the RAF.
I think you're right, yes, but I mean, I think most parents weren't too happy. You see, the point was that you didn't have to join to fly. It was all aircrew volunteered to fly. They couldn't be made to fly or conscripted to fly, but it's what I wanted to do. And if I hadn't been accepted for aircrew training, I think I would have tried to get into another service.
Can you explain how the role that you had in the
Mm.
Second World War,
Mm.
how that supported the rest of the RAF?
Well, it supported the RAF, but not only the RAF, it supported the whole of the forces in contributing to weather forecasting, meteorological forecasting, and as I say, apart from anything else, it had a direct role in putting D-Day back 24 hours. I mean, weather forecasting in those days was pretty basic. They got nothing like they've got now in the facilities. There was a weather ship stuck right out in the middle of the Atlantic, anchored there permanently, which used to send back information. But we, of course, you see, we had a set operation. We would fly at, say, 5,000 or 6,000 feet for a certain period of time. Then we would go up to 20,000 feet and take readings at that altitude. Then we would come down to sea level, which was about 100 feet and a bit dicey at times. We did have radio altimeters, which were pretty accurate, and take readings at sea level. And all that went back and was, and don't forget there were 4 other squadrons dotted around the country in different places doing the same thing. And it all went to compiling the most important weather information for bombing raids. The thing was, I know some people might think it's a terrible thing to say, but it was enjoyable. I had responsibility. I loved what I was doing, flying. Perhaps what I could say was that the less enjoyable things were that our aircraft at first were Mark III Halifaxes, which had been going for quite some time. We eventually got Mark IV Halifaxes, which were a bit newer. But I've got in my logbook half a dozen 3-engine returns from 800 miles out in the Atlantic. And one thing that sticks in my mind, I think it was metal fatigue. The whole nose blew in. And the wireless op sits in the nose underneath the pilot. In front of me, on the other side of a radio bulkhead, was the navigator and the Met observer right in the nose. And they suddenly found themselves sitting in a howling gale. They both had to go back down to the rest position in the aircraft, and I've never forgotten that navigator. He got us back to base on radio bearings that I got, or the other wireless op got, and dead reckoning, star shots and that sort of thing. And we got back in one piece. But that was quite, well, exciting really. The strange thing is, you know, I can't remember feeling frightened. It happened and you've got to get on with it and do it. There was no other alternative. There's no point in panicking, and yet, you know, if it happened to me now, I'd be in a right panic, I think. I have to say that it's one of the best periods of my life, that 4 years. And I've been to Alvington, where they've rebuilt a Halifax, Alvington over the Humber. And if you flew in them, they let you go inside. And that was very emotional. and but it also seems so much smaller. I rather suspect it's because I've got a bit bigger.